Louis is an interesting character to me. They're quite popular in the fandom, and for good reason. He's very good in the game, being one of the best tunes to do solo runs with, a really good and beginner-friendly distractor, while also being pretty decent at extracting himself. Not to mention, they also have a fun and lovable personality. But there's more to this little balloon guy that they let on. On the inside, they're hiding a lot of insecurity and anxiety. So let's see what we can find about him. Louis is the leader of the Circus Trio, which is a group of tunes in Garden View composed of Louis himself, who is a clown, Yada, who's an acrobat, and Blot, who's a mime. Together, they do acts to entertain other tunes in Garden View. They're very close friends and have a lot of interactions together, and the other two seem to look to Louis for support, like Blot asking Louis to help with ideas for acts, or how Yada is said to listen to Louis more than other tunes. But what I said about Louis being the leader was technically a lie. Even though he does some things that a leader might do, like being the one who is looking for new members for the circus on behalf of the others, they aren't a leader. Dandy's gossip about them reveals as much. I've got a little gossip to share. Louis always denies it, but he is the leader of the circus troupe. He was in the show at least. I think he'd rather not take lead now, though. I wonder why. So, in the Dandy's World TV show, he is the leader, but nowadays he refuses that role and would rather work with their friends as equals. We know the rest of the circus troupe doesn't really treat Louis like a leader entirely either. The idea to drop the notion of leadership was likely a collective decision between them all, and with how Louis helps the others with things, they also help Louis with things. Blot, do you know where my juggling pins went? Under your bed. You always leave them there and forget. Oh, Blot, you always know where me and Yada leave stuff. I keep a good eye on you both. Thank you, Blot. Louis' reasons for choosing to not be the leader anymore aren't known for sure yet, and short of Louis turning to the camera and saying, "This is why I'm not the leader anymore," it'll likely have to be speculated on. And thankfully, we can make some educated guesses based on the rest of the content about them. From what we know, they definitely have some form of anxiety. When talking to Louis, Astro mentions a dream about stage fright that they had. You know, sometimes I have stage fright as well. Huh? Are you talking to me? I don't have stage fright. Maybe I'm misremembering your dream. Never mind. And during some interactions, he accidentally lets his true emotions show, and we see how anxious he can be under all those smiles and jokes. Like when they talk to Toodles and she accidentally insults them. I haven't even told a joke yet. You don't need to. And why is that, my little friend? You already look silly. Oh. Louis fears being made fun of. His introduction card says to remember others aren't laughing at you, they're laughing with you, right after three dots, which definitely makes it sound oddly ominous for a character card. The only tunes seemingly aware of Louis' anxiety are Blood and Yada. Astro technically knows, but Astro only found out thanks to his dream watching abilities and not out of any desire for Louis to have him know. Yada has interactions with Louis where she comforts them, reminds them to take compliments, and expresses how much he's loved, which is very sweet of her. Blot isn't as openly supportive through speech, but that doesn't mean he doesn't care. He shows his appreciation for Louis by keeping an eye on them, like when he knows where Louis' juggling pins went, even when Louis forgot, as shown earlier. Personally, I assume Louis stopped being the leader after talking to the others about his anxiety, and they all decided to take equal parts in running the circus to take the stress and spotlight away from Louis. Besides his friends supporting him, of course, Louis also seems to have his own coping mechanisms for his anxiety. Of course, he plays up the clown persona in most of his voice lines, probably just using performance to mask his feelings. But their interaction with Flutter also shows that they write in a diary to vent about their frustrations. Louis in the future. Now, here's the fun part. The part where we speculate where Louis' story might develop in future updates. Louis seems to want to get to the bottom of why his anxiety began. He has an interaction with Roger where he asks if he can look into something bothering him before changing his mind and not telling Roger the rest. I'm not really sure what Louis attempting to ask Roger implies. Does it imply the cause for Louis' anxiety is actually something tangible Roger could look into? Or does that just imply Louis thinks solving his anxiety is as easy as finding the source? But one thing is for certain. I think it's definitely possible Louis will work with Roger in the future, probably trying to get everyone's opinions of him through Roger so he can make sure no one actually thinks badly of them. Roger could survey everyone for Louis, and once he gets everyone's opinions, which will all most likely be positive except for Shrimpo, maybe that'll put some of Louis' worries to rest. Even if it won't fix their problem, knowing the other Toons truly love him and don't make fun of him when they laugh at his jokes will definitely be very reassuring. There's another plot thread regarding the entire circus that could be followed up on. Louis is trying to find a new member for the circus, but so far everyone's turned him down. Is it possible they'll succeed in finding a new member for the circus trio? I think so, actually. There's one tune I genuinely think could end up joining the circus in the future, and that tune is Razzle and Dazzle. Louis hasn't asked them directly about it, yet it seems Razzle and Dazzle have expressed interest in participating in the circus acts. That, paired with the fact their trinkets, being Clown Hunter and Ribbon Spool, match, being perfect opposites of each other. So in the future, we might get a plot development where Razzle and Dazzle join the circus troupe, and they become the circus quintet. That is such a stupid line. Why did I keep this in the script? Anyway, this would fit the theme the circus seems to have with defying the TV show in some way, like Blood learning to speak despite the show, and Louis denying the leadership role. Them getting two new members in Razzle and Dazzle would be the perfect cherry on top of that. Anyway, I think that's about it. Louis is a super fun and interesting character, and I feel like the circus troupe has a lot of potential for interesting development. With how Louis and Blood defy the show openly and all, even Yada, who seems very silly and aloof, she knows more than she lets on. She goes to the events regularly and has probably seen a lot of secrets. The circus troupe might play a crucial role in the story whenever that picks up, and I'm really looking forward to that. They're a really fun trio, and I'd even say they're my favorite group of tunes. But that's just my opinion. What are yours? Are you a big fan of Louis? Do you think they could play a big role in the story? What do you think about the information presented in the video? I'm curious for your thoughts, so make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and let me know.